this room today. It's like the atmosphere you get at the time of a new birth or a graduation or indeed a wedding. Because this is one of those special days when we're going to launch an important change in the educational infrastructure of our home place, our region, and indeed our country. That story will be outlined by the contributions of a number of speakers and 4 pre-prepared videos over the next half hour. The first of those speakers, just back over the weekend from Seoul in South Korea, is the Minister for Further and Higher Education, Research, Innovation and Science, Minister Simon Harris.
Thank you very much. Ger Margaret, Díomh Galer, it's great to be here. It's great to be back. It's great to be in St. Angela's, and it's even greater to be in ATU St. Angela's. Congratulations and cahordagas to everybody who has worked so hard to get us to this incredible day. I know we're in the land of Yeats, and just in thinking of Yeats on the way here today, I was thinking of the quote, think where man's glory most begins and ends, and say my glory was I had such friends. Well, I actually think that really captures the journey that we have been on together, because we would not have gotten to this point were it not for the incredible friends that we have had in St. Angela's, that we have had in ATU, and that we have had in my department. People who have worked tirelessly to get us to this point today. So to everybody, I want to say thank you very much for the friendship you have shown St. Angela's, and for the gift in working together that you have given to the people of the Northwest. Because not that long ago, we didn't have a university in the Northwest. Not only do we have a university in the Northwest now, we now have the 3rd largest university in student numbers in the country. What an incredible transformation. And I really know how important St. Angela's has been as an important provider of initial teacher education and home economics and various other disciplines, both of and for this region and nationally. For many, many decades. And as such, its incorporation with Atlantic Technological University, this new regional powerhouse in the West and the Northwest, and now the 3rd largest higher education institution, has always seemed to me to have been a logical step, a no-brainer, so to speak. It seems to just be common sense. But I've realised in politics, sometimes common sense isn't all that common at all. Because when I became minister, my good friend and colleague, Deputy Frank Feehan, brought Amanda McLeish to see me on a Zoom meeting. We weren't allowed to meet in person at the time, but Amanda and Niall came, and Frank and Mark McSharry were very agitated about the frustration that was going on in Sligo. What is their future going to look like? And you said to me, Frank, that it made sense for this to go in with Sligo. Amanda and Niall and colleagues put forward the idea, and this was with no disrespect to our friends in Galway, and we're very grateful to them for their support, but that there was something happening in Sligo in terms of education, and it was really important that as that university journey began, that St. Angela's be at the heart of it. So Frank, I want to thank you for convincing me and convincing colleagues of that, and I want to welcome you and Deputy Marion Harkin, who's also been a great supporter of the project, who I know is here with us today as well. So thank you so much, Frank and colleagues, and thank you to the Cahirlock of the Council and to representatives of Sligo County Council for being here today and for all of your support. We've gotten here, and it's been down to a hell of a lot of hard work as well. I'm conscious that St. Angela's doesn't just bring an incredible legacy of delivery and excellence in terms of initial teacher education, but also in nursing, in healthcare, in nutrition, food science, special education, Irish, business management, disability studies. So you've inherited a good crowd here, Orla, and that's really going to add to ATU's already very impressive suite of programmes as well. And I think this incorporation, I was trying to say this on your local radio this morning on Ocean FM, this is not going to just be good news for Sligo. It's not going to just be good news for the Northwest. I actually believe it's really going to help us further strengthen our cross-border linkages. Cross-border linkages that ATU Letterkenny, and I see Paul here as well, have been working on for quite a period of time. And I'm thinking here of potential synergies in nursing and in medical areas with institutions such as the McGee campus of Ulster University. And as Tommy knows from other conversations we've had, the government is determined to and is investing in growing the campus in Derry as well. So this moment that we're here to celebrate today has been a long time coming. And perhaps in some ways it's the sweeter for that. It has been a labour of love, I think we can say that now that we're here, but no doubt it's also involved a hell of a lot of sweat, toil and frustration for an awful lot of people. I'm always very nervous of mentioning individual people, so I'm thanking everybody here. But just to acknowledge a couple of people, I want to thank President Orla Flynn of ATU. I want to thank you for being so open to the process so early on. A more timid president could easily have said, we've enough on our plate, we'll come back to this in a while. Yeah, I don't. Hopefully the mic didn't catch what she said, but you certainly had an awful lot on your plate. And to you and to the chair of the governing authority, Maura McNally, thank you so much for embracing this. What I want to assure you, and what I want to assure the people here today, what I want to assure the students of ATU across all its campuses, is that government will step up and match in terms of your scale of your ambition with the scale of funding that is required. We're absolutely determined to do that. We have received a significant increase in funding for higher education in the budget, and we will be looking at how we can somewhat positively discriminate in favour of the regions, particularly when it comes to capital investment, and we'll work hand in glove with you in relation to that. So thank you so much for taking on the challenge and accepting this really, really important integration. I really don't think we would have gotten here, though, if it wasn't for Amanda. And I want to acknowledge that, Amanda. You have been a pleasure to do it. And I mean that because, you know, you have an incredible team, and every good leader says that they have an incredible team, and you do. But teams do need leaders, and they need people willing to put their neck on the line, willing to sometimes have to push a bit of a boulder up a hill to explain why this policy change made sense and to make it happen. And I'm conscious you've had to oversee a very large integration project here, where you've had to quite rightly convince and bring people with you in terms of how we're going to protect all that is good about St Angela's while joining what is now Ireland's third largest university. So thank you so much for your vision, for the Zoom meetings, for the in-person meetings, and for everything else as well. I also want to thank Niall Fenley, Mr. Justice Niall Fenley, for your role as chair of the governing authority, and again for coming to see us and convince us. And you very humbly said you didn't play a major role. That's not the truth at all. You brought your expertise, your legal expertise, and your commitment and your passion to education. And I want to thank you and Maura as your interlocutor for all that your work. I want to acknowledge also IT Sligo President Brendan McCormack, and I also want to acknowledge President Kieran O'Huckerty of University of Galway, who had her started out on the earlier incorporation journey on which we built as well. And thank you so much to Dr. Sean Duffy, Vice President of ATU Integration, who has been a vital link with my own department officials in the inaugural process. And I do want to thank the officials, by the way, because often we get to stand up here on the good days, but it takes officials with guts and intelligence to recognise that sometimes it makes sense to change course. And to my own colleagues, to John McDermott, who's here today, to Fiona O'Byrne, and to all my colleagues in the Department of Further and Higher Education, thank you very much for your willingness to engage and to get us to the right place in relation to that. And my final word of thanks, but certainly not last but certainly not least, is to the Ursuline Order. Yes. The Ursuline Order, under the leadership of Sister Anne Hart Barry, have given the people of Sligo, the people of the Northwest, and the people of Ireland an incredible gift. And I really want to sincerely thank you for your generosity to gift this magnificent campus and additional lands to one of Ireland's newest universities. Adds to your already remarkable legacy to higher education provision in Sligo, a provision that stretches so far back. And I do understand that Sister Maura Moran has been a resident here at Lochgill since the college, since day one, since the college was established in 1950. And I really want to acknowledge you here being here on the first day and the last day is an incredible testament to your commitment and to the Ursuline orders in the North West. So sometimes we don't say it enough and we don't acknowledge it publicly, and I want to do that today. The contribution of the Ursuline Order has been immense, and the way in which you have now engaged with this process, generously gifted, and worked to ensure that your legacy continues as this institution moves forward is something that we're all so grateful for. I really believe that the expanded footprint of the Atlantic Technological University that we're here to celebrate today will significantly benefit the region. I really look forward to this not just being the end of a journey, but actually being a catalyst, being a moment to help bring us on the trajectory that we need to be on when it comes to higher education in the West and Northwest. I believe investment in higher education in the regions is, of course, about access to education, but it's about an awful lot more than that. When you invest in education, particularly in the regions, you are ensuring that younger people can remain in the regions. You're helping to increase and maintain the population of the region. You're providing opportunities when it comes to jobs and investment. It makes sense on every single level, climate, whatever level you look at. We are a great country. I'm so proud of this country. We will be an even better country when we realise that it's not just a country of a few cities, but it's actually a country proudly made up of regions. And I accept the challenge today in terms of more work that we have to and we will do. We've delivered a university for the Northwest. We will now properly fund and invest in this new and expanded university. I remember when I met Amanda with Frank back on the Zoom meeting, or indeed you reminded me, I gave a commitment, one of those political promises, where there can be cynicism around them sometimes, but where I said we were going to get this done, and we were going to get this done during my term of office. I in no way take credit for that because we've worked with the most incredible bunch of people, and I'm so grateful to you for that, but we have gotten it done. We have collectively delivered on that commitment. And when I signed that statutory order that would grant the incorporation of St. Angela's into Atlantic Technological University effective from the 1st of November, I did say that I was so looking forward to visiting ATU's newest campus, to talking to you about how we invest here in providing the modern facilities that your incredible students deserve, and we're going to do just that. So congratulations, Cohordagus, an incredible day, enjoy it. Soak it in. We've enough difficult and challenging days, but to the newest member of the ATU family, welcome. Thank you for the richness that you bring to the tapestry that is now one of Ireland's largest yet newest universities. Garth Míle Maith Claire.
Thank you, Minister. On the road since early morning and arriving full of energy, full of vim. Thank you. We love stories in this area, and I want to go back to that story you referred to, Minister. Take you back to 1950. So an official from the Department of Education comes down to this beautiful place. He's met at the door. He goes around. He inspects the facility. And after his deliberations, he arrives back and he says to the nuns, prepare for action, because I'm saying to you now that in 2 years' time, in 1952, we will sanction a situation where St. Angela's College will be open for business. A person listening to him that day was a 21-year-old novitiate from Ballina in County Mayo. And isn't it just wonderful that over 72 years later, she is here with us in the front row. And if ever you wanted an ad for the religious life and for how a vocation like hers keeps you forever young, this is the evidence of that story, Sister Maura McNally. And Minister, I'm going to ask you to make a small presentation to mark the occasion, recognising her contribution and indeed, as you said, the contribution of the Ursuline sisters. So she says that she's 94, but I don't believe her. Thank you, Minister, and thank you, Sister Maura. I'm now going to introduce the first of our videos, and while you're watching this, just keep a lookout for the drone shots, which will actually confirm that there's no campus like this anywhere in Ireland.
This is a historic moment for St Angela's, and the staff and students very much look forward to continuing our reputation for excellence in higher education and a bright, progressive future as fully integrated staff and students of ATU.
The Ursulines have a long tradition of education in Sligo, and we're very happy and delighted that St Angela's is moving forward into the wider family of the Atlantic Technological University. It's a significant moment for third level education in Sligo and the Northwest.
As a guidance counsellor in the region, the addition of St Angela's to ATU presents a fantastic opportunity for our students. ATU's expanded teacher education offering will no doubt encourage more students to stay in the region to study.
ATU is playing a vital part in strategic initiatives such as tertiary education degrees. The addition of St Angela's to ATU will present collaborative opportunities to provide further access to nursing education in the region.
The incorporation of St Angela's into ATU is a welcome development. This new chapter gives initial teacher education an even stronger position within the TU sector.
At ATU, we're strongly focused on providing graduates with the opportunity to upskill and develop their potential. We look forward to collaborating with ATU St Angela's, strengthening our research capacity in areas that will make a direct impact on patient care, e-health, and of course professional nursing practice.
St Angela's College has been a long-standing partner and friend of ATU. We especially look forward to growing our strong reputation in the food sector, working together to incorporate sustainable practices across this vital sector to help address global challenges.
Through initiatives such as the Northwest Tertiary Education Cluster, we are working to ensure sustainable employment and greater economic prosperity for our region. We welcome St Angela's to ATU and look forward to continuing our work together, building cross-border relationships and expanding beyond our regional borders.
Here in Sligo, we've always had close links with our colleagues in St Angela's. We look forward to building on this relationship as part of one university as we strive to make a positive impact on the local community and the region as a whole.
Beautiful images, weren't they? And lots of regional voices, Donegal, Mayo, Sligo, Galway and beyond. And isn't it entirely fitting that the chair of the governing body of ATU is a native of Drummond in County Leitrim? My pleasure to introduce the chair, Maura McNally.
Firstly, thank you, Minister Harris. Thank you to the Ursuline Order. Thank you to everyone here at St Angela's and to everyone at ATU who has made this day possible. It seems I stand at a podium every time I come to Sligo and say, here we are on another historic day. So the 1st of April in 2022 was an historic day when we established and launched the ATU, and here we are again, another historic occasion, the 6th of November 2023, when the expanding family of the ATU is achieved by the incorporation of St Angela's into our family. It's very fitting when you look at St Angela's and the founder of their order, who was St Angela Merici, who believed that people should go forth within their own community and educate, live within their community and educate within their community. And that has actually come full circle. as the purpose and aim behind the ATU is to bring education to people in the locality, to ensure that the next generation have hope, to ensure that the area is sustainable, to ensure that there is a future for this area. The purpose behind the ATU is to counter the imbalance that has existed in this country for centuries, not just decades. As I say, if you had a weighing scales, everything goes to Dublin. We in the ATU, which now expands from Donegal all the way down the Atlantic coast, down past Galway, we aim to counter that, and we will counter that. We have a dedicated community supporting us throughout the region, a unique region. We have dedicated staff, and more importantly, we have dedicated students. On the subject of dedication, I would personally like to thank the Ursuline Order. I would like to thank Sister Anne Hart-Barry, who is here today. I would like to thank Sister Marianne, Sister Mairead, Sister Dorothy, Sister Moira, and my own namesake, Sister Maura. Thank you for establishing St. Angela's as a leader in education. Thank you for trusting the ATU to take that and move forward with it to expand. On the subject of expansion, we aim for some 25,000 students in the coming years. We can achieve that, and I'm delighted to hear that there's going to be more funding. That's always music to our ears, music to my ears particularly, and I'm sure that all of the executive, to include President Orla Flynn, will be delighted as well. On the subject of capital funding, for example, the annual individual spending per student in Ireland is €331. In the West and Northwest, it is €238. A small gap, but one I'm sure we will do catch up on. And if we have full funding, can you imagine what the ATU can achieve for the region, for its people, regardless of race, colour, creed, access to education in person, access to education online, a growing international reputation, growing on St. Angela's reputation. We can build this region into the powerhouse we all know it is, the powerhouse it can be, and the powerhouse it should be. And the lifeblood of that will be the students who will prosper, and their families and communities, and our whole region too, which will prosper. So on this historic day, when it comes full circle, when the Ursuline Order aimed to educate, they are now assisting the larger family of ATU to educate within our region. So congratulations to everyone in the newer, bigger, expanding, and better ATU. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. I saw you nodding there, Minister. There's no such thing as a free lunch, you know? Even a happy day is a school day. This is our second video. It's called Student Experience, Personal and Professional Growth.
I look forward to being part of a multi-campus university with a strong and united student voice.
To having access to a wider range of facilities and student supports.
ATU St Angela's staff and students will join an environment defined by dignity and respect, where diversity is celebrated and everyone is treated equally.
ATU continues to invest in state-of-the-art facilities and a comprehensive suite of student supports to serve our diverse community of learners. As part of ATU, St Angela's students can immerse themselves in student life knowing that their mental and physical well-being will be cared for and valued.
ATU St Angela's has a national reputation for excellence in their field, especially in the area of initial teacher education. This will allow for continued development and improvement of academic programmes to match the evolving needs of our students.
ATU will be the university of choice for those seeking to access and continue lifelong learning, develop new skills and advance their careers. ATU St Angela's specialisation in providing flexible courses in areas such as special education needs, autism and specific learning difficulties will strengthen this position. The addition of St Angela's Nursing Department coming on board will mean our number capacity will increase to over 900 undergraduate nursing students. This is a very significant provision of nurse education on the island of Ireland and will mean that ATU nursing will become a lead in evidence-based practice in the Northwest.
As an alumnus of St Angela's, lecturer and current PhD student, I look forward to positively engaging with the ATU alumni network, working with a wider group of staff and students and creating new opportunities for creative research, which will help us grow and develop within research as well as our professional careers.
I think that video perfectly captured the potential of this whole project. The Minister and the Chair referred to the contribution of the Ursuline sisters, and it's now my pleasure to invite to the podium Sister Anne Hart-Barry, the Ursuline Provincial.
It's my happy privilege today to take a moment to thank a lot of people who have brought us to this day. Minister Harris, Bishop Dorn, Maura McNally, Justice Niall Fenley. I'm trying to forget to give you your full title, Niall. And of course, Anne Tahany and Amanda, and all of the staff in St Angela's and in other places who have worked so hard with many ups and downs. And it seemed very often there were more downs than ups, but it has brought us to this day. So we thank you most sincerely for the work and the vision. And I want to mention particularly our own Marianne O'Connor, without whom today could not have happened. Today, after 70 years' provision of tertiary education in the Northwest, we Ursulines are proud and excited. We look back in gratitude at the commitment of sisters, colleagues, students who worked and studied here in the pursuit of learning, bringing its fruits to all corners of Ireland and way beyond. Now we look forward to the living out of incorporation into the Atlantic Technological University, ATU. Incorporation can be defined in many ways. As we gather today, we look in hope at incorporation as fusion, merging to create energy, a positive energy, which will fire the lives of all who work and study here on this campus as part of the ATU, the third largest university in Ireland. We believe this fusion will enable and enrich growth of learning, research, and skills, which will enhance lives and communities way into the future. We now entrust into the hands of the ATU, the college campus here, and look forward in hope and joy. Yeats said, "Education is not the filling of the pail, but the lighting of a fire." let the blaze begin.
Beautifully put, Sister Anne Hart-Barry, and this is Yeats' country, and we are so proud of that. You mentioned the role of the chair of the St. Angela's Board of Directors, Mr. Justice Niall Fenley, somebody who has family connections with the Ursuline Order going back generations, and it's my pleasure to ask Mr. Justice Fenley to address you now.
Thank you very much indeed, Tommy, for that introduction. You know, it was one story of the chairman of a parliamentary committee some years ago said at a certain stage of the proceedings, well, he said, everything possible has been said on every angle of this subject. The only difference is that not everything has been said by everybody. Making the point that really the ground has been very well covered. This is a day of ending or beginning, which it's really a day of beginning. But on the other hand, from the point of view of the Ursuline Order, which has been well recognized in the contribution so far, it is a culmination of a remarkable history. St. Angela Merici was really the foundress. I think I get confused because St. Ursula was not the foundress. But St. Angela Merici was a woman of her time and a woman of our time too, because she devoted her career in the promotion of education to notions of practical work in the home. Home economics would really be her contribution to the school. And so when you go back to 1952, and it's quite appropriate, and I'm not going to repeat it, that Sister Maura would be here to be recognised and remembered, but it's astonishing to think that in 1952 there were 12 home economics students at the start. Now there are 1,600 across the three schools, and more to come, as we've heard. Now, at this time, I think it's appropriate that we make some recognition of those who have contributed in the past presidents. They have, some of them go back a long way. Mother Malachy, Sister Breed Handley, Sister Marianne O'Connor, of course, still here. Mr. Michael Handley, sadly no longer with us, and most recently the people that I worked with, Anne Tahany and Amanda McClout, and of course also during that period, Edel McSharry, who has made her own remarkable contribution. These are all the people who have helped to build up St. Angela's to what it is today. It hasn't all been sort of rosy and even-tempered at all times. I have it on good authority recently that there was one sister greeted by one of your predecessors with the expression, Minister, you forgive me for saying so, "Shut up, sister." But I'm sure you never said anything. But it's an indication of the struggles that took place over that 70-year period to produce the remarkable school that exists at St. Angela's today, and which is now in the course of incorporation into the Atlantic Technological University. I think that apart from the past presidents that I've mentioned, we'd all want to recognize the present college management team, comprising, of course, of Amanda McCloat, Edel McSharry, Dr. Fiona Crow, Dr. Helen McGuire, David Keane, who keeps us right on the money all the time, Michael Henry, and Declan Correll. Now, I acknowledge my colleagues on the board of directors. I have been unworthily mentioned already, but I have been proud to be allowed over the past 5 years to preside over a board of directors who have been extraordinary in their dedication to the developing story of St. Angela's leading to this incorporation, which has been achieved and which is being achieved today, but not without a lot of struggle and a lot of extremely hard work by the people that I have mentioned. So now we arrive at the stages. We've got both. We've got St. Angela's and we've got the ATU. So we've got ATU St. Angela's. And I have no doubt that the history will continue and it'll be positive, and that everything that has been said so far by the other speakers, including, may I say, I don't know why no less than two former chairpersons of the Bar Council would be included among the speakers today. There must be something right with the law. Anyway, I want to thank everybody, and I want to wish St. Angela's and ATU all the best for the future. Thank you.
Thank you, Niall. It is indeed a place full of memories, happy memories. I remember at a certain stage in my life, it was a rite of passage to be invited to the dress dance in St. Angela's. And you'd come out here for inspection by Sister Pius. And you had to pass muster there, and that was a tough test. This is our third video. It's called External Partners.
Over the years, we have built a strong and vibrant link with St. Angela's College. We look forward to further collaboration through this new project, and we congratulate everyone who is involved in this joining of two significant institutions, which will surely lead to greater learning and research on a European and global level.
The incorporation of St. Angela's into the ATU is a very positive aspect for all areas, especially in the disability sector where I myself are working. We look forward to working with this new adventure to bring about changes across the nursing profession, and it's a very exciting times that we see ahead.
We at Bright Kids Uganda would like to congratulate our dear friends at St. Angela's in Ireland on this great occasion of joining ATU. We look forward to many more years of working together, knowing we are a global village. Enjoy your celebrations. Congratulations once again, and may God bless you.
This incorporation will bring about such positive changes for the region in terms of attracting and retaining talent, and indeed creating future leaders in healthcare and of course in nursing. Our partnership with St. Angela's is something that we're really proud of, and we can't wait to see what the future with ATU brings.
As the National Centre of Excellence for Home Economics, ATU St. Angela's will continue to thrive in education and research, encouraging future generations to become leaders of change. Congratulations to everyone involved.
St. Angela's will bring a wealth of knowledge and expertise in the field of education to this incorporation with Atlantic Technological University. I look forward enthusiastically in the future to continuing to work with colleagues in Sligo and meeting new colleagues across their many campuses.
Wasn't that impressive? I suppose on a day like this, you just get the impression that we're attempting to become the sum of our parts, to make our contribution not just to the region, but to the country. And that is a tremendous challenge and a tremendous responsibility. And the person who is leading that project is the president of ATU, Dr. Orla Flynn, and it's my pleasure to introduce her to you.
Antara Simon Harris, Chakti Dala, Shenadori, Corlori, Colty Namord,
Coltí Dordu Ursulach, Cógachacha, Micléin, agus Corda, Fáilte, Riv Ulscoil Technoliachta an Atlantic. Lá Speisialta atá going inniuh, Lá Ceiliúr. We've already heard so many wonderful words. I think Niall summarised it really well. There is very little left actually for me to say, other than words of deep thanks and gratitude for the generosity, vision and commitment of so many people. To you, Minister, and your team for your support throughout. To Amanda, Niall and the board of St. Angela's College, thank you for working so well with us and for trusting our fledgling new university to be a good partner for your historic institution. And thank you for the hospitality today and for all the preparations in the days leading up. To Brendan McCormick and the Sligo team under whose leadership in IT Sligo this process commenced. Future generations of students will remember your vision and thank you for it. To Sean Duffy and all the integration team from both ATU and St. Angela's, thank you for the painstaking attention to detail in ironing out all the wrinkles that are part of any merger. Keep that iron handy, as I'm sure we'll continue to need it. To my own board and chair, Maura, thank you for the unflinching support for this process as we work our way through our own transition formative period. But my main thanks today goes to Sister Anne Hart-Barry, to Sister Marianne and to the Ursuline Order. Thank you for your extraordinary educational legacy over so many years and for entrusting us to continue that legacy and to ensure that it thrives. Indeed, it's difficult to put into words the enormity of the gift that you've given us, and even harder to find a meaningful way to thank you. But we'll try. Today, we will be planting an oak tree on the grounds here. Amanda and I will plant the oak tree to mark the formal incorporation of St. Angela's into Atlantic Technological University. This is a strong symbol of the enduring nature of the relationship and the legacy of the Ursuline Order in Sligo. In Ireland today, there remains a belief that trees are powerful symbolically and they have rich inferences of life enduring and renewal. The links with learning in the natural world embedded in early Irish scholarship is telling in the fact that trees played a part in the development of the OM alphabet, the first form of written script used in the Irish language. Today, trees represent our natural world in all its strength and fragility, with their unsurpassed usefulness to the environment and, when sustainably used, to the world of industry. And I know this has been an important dimension of the ethos here on this campus for many years. The act of tree planting is also representative of the spirit of friendship and renewal. It's a combined endeavour, and the hope of this effort is that the tree will thrive along with the relationship between the two planters. Tree planting ceremonies denote an unspoken guarantee that the tree, as a symbol of that friendship, will be given the protection and care required for it to flourish, as it is hoped and expected that the new relationship between St. Angela's and ATU will prosper and grow. However, that oak tree is a placeholder, as it were, for a more formal gift to the Ursuline Order from us in ATU. It is planned that the grounds of St. Angela's, ATU St. Angela's, will yield naturally fallen trees, which will be combined with timber from other ATU campuses to be kiln-dried using the facilities at ATU Connemara. When the wood is ready, a master furniture maker, an alumnus of ATU Connemara, will be commissioned to design and make a pair of bespoke chairs for the Ursuline Order, converted into symbolic seats of learning. These chairs will be both functional and beautiful, representative of the natural world and of the learning and skill made possible by Atlantic Technological University. They will acknowledge the historic legacy of education provided by the Ursuline Order in Sligo and represent the two-way nature of the relationship between the Ursulines and ATU, with our pasts and futures forever linked. I'd like to acknowledge the support in preparing for these gifts of Paul Leamy, Dr. Marion McGarry and Kevin Gives at ATU Connemara, and Dr. Amanda McLeod, Hubert Keeney and Joe Loughlin here at ATU St. Angela's. And in closing, to reflect on the words of Seamus Heaney from 2004. Nothing is more like ourselves, standing upright, caught between heaven and earth, frail at the extremities, yet strong at the central trunk, and nothing is closer to us at the beginning and at the end. Buíochas sucrí the gach duine a bhí páirteach agus go nairi an táling go léir le chéile.
Thank you, Orla. What a wonderful gesture in relation to the wood. It reminds me of the time at the St. Andrews negotiations when Tony Blair and the British government had a photo album for Ian and Eileen Paisley to mark their 50th anniversary. And the Irish government arrived with a wooden bowl made from a tree that was found at the site of the Battle of the Boyne. And you can tell which present won the contest and won the hearts. Beautiful gesture. This is our 4th video, and we'll roll it now.
ATU helps me discover my interests and my passions.
At ATU, I can feel I'm part of clubs and societies.
ATU allows me to get hands-on experience.
ATU gives me the chance to study abroad.
ATU allows me to discover my future career.
ATU allows me to develop my knowledge and skills.
To express my creativity.
ATU allows me to explore new places.
ATU allows me to meet new people.
To foster friendships and create lifelong memories.
ATU allows me to grow as a person.
On behalf of the entire staff and student body across all of our campuses, we warmly welcome everyone from St. Angela's to the ATU family. Fáilte go hoscail Technoleachta on Atlantic.
Welcome to ATU.
Wasn't that a perfect message to end the formalities? Just to let you know that there will now be the raising of the flag outside by the ATU flag, by the acting St. Angela's Students' Union President, Anya Weitzman. There will also be the unveiling of a memorial wooden sculpture, and you will have that tree planting ceremony as well. And everybody will be fed here because it would not be in the tradition of St. Angela's to allow you out the door without being fed properly. It has been my honour to be among you on this really genuine historic day. Congratulations to everybody. And there's one final presentation to be made, and I'll allow that to take place now. This is the last gesture, and you didn't expect this, Sister Marianne, and Sister Marianne comes from Sligo, and she has been a constant throughout all the twists and turns of difficult and ultimately successful negotiations. What a perfect way to end the ceremonies.
I look forward to being part of a multi-campus
Well done. Hey, Frank.
We just got the plan because we have a number of